Hello, everybody. I didn't count us in because I'm new to
Oh
this. Thank you to anybody that's watching. This is a very impromptu live stream. I'm Jeremy, your lead designer, filling in for Mike, even though he's still here. So the thing is that
I am.
he won't be here next week. And so in a
We do
panic,
have some things to talk about next week that we should probably do a stream about.
yes. And so in your absence, I have volunteered to fill in. Wow, I'm suddenly even more nervous. All the software and everything. That doesn't happen.
You got this.
I'm usually so chill on these things.
Because you don't have to do anything.
I know.
You just have to look pretty and say numbers.
Who knew that Mike actually has a job he does here?
Sir.
So welcome everyone. I know there's only a few of you. That's fine. We didn't post this on socials or anything. This is a test stream. This is me running the streaming software and everything that Mike has taught me how to set up because I will be doing so for our next 10 Forward Weekly on Tuesday. So this is kind of just a tech check, really.
Test stream, please ignore.
Yep. So we'll just kind of figure this out. I want to get some input on volume levels and all that kind of stuff. Make sure that you guys could hear everything that we were doing earlier with the little teaser trailer. Was a test for, there will be a different trailer next week on our 10 Forward Weekly. So let me know if anything seems amiss tech-wise that is going on here, because as I said, I'm running all the software now. Mike is free.
I'm literally doing nothing, and my brain is like, you could play a video game.
Yeah, you could. If you stream it over Discord, I could even grab the screen and we could try that. Let's not try that.
I probably shouldn't do that. Also, we were joking before the stream. Jeremy is sharing Star Trek Online gameplay, but what the hell is this, and why does it look like Area 51 security footage?
Well, if anybody is not already familiar, this is my live character, Borticus. Borticus the Gray. He is modeled after the stereotypical Area 51 gray aliens. And I'm just hanging out in Drazana.
He looks so sad. He's just like, nobody loves me. Everyone go to Drazana.
No, he's just being a moody little edgelord here, sitting in the corner booth at Drazana.
Let's all look at the instance that Jeremy is in, and then go bother him on Drazana. Oh, Drazana 1. All right. My game is now loading.
Really, I mean, this is just set up as a test again, because next week we'll be sharing live to show you guys whatever it is what you're going to show you. I don't know what it is yet, right?
No, none of us know, actually. And there definitely isn't a trailer that just went to YouTube as a premiere for next Tuesday.
Yeah, definitely not.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy talk.
So this is fun. It seems to be working.
Yeah.
You Anakin Skywalker meme. It's working.
It's working. It's working. He said that all the time in the episode 1 Racer game, and so that was a vocal tick of mine for probably 5 years.
Did they use the "I'll try spinning" soundbite in that?
No, they did not, unfortunately. But they did have audio of Watto singing the Star Wars Cantina theme, which, if you wanted to know what that sounded like, it's Were
there lyrics, or was it just like that?
No, it was just that. He just was humming it to himself. Paul 8472. First of all, we don't talk to Undine infiltrators here. But second of all, I mean, we're not going to confirm or deny anything about what's happening on Tuesday, but you're right.
How do we confirm things without confirming them?
Yeah.
Please engage with the rest of the community on Discord. Some of them are right.
It's always Corlo, god damn it. Oh, wait, hold on. It's still a professional live stream.
Yeah, but you're not the community manager today. You're just a guest that I have on.
That's true.
In fact, I want to, just to make sure everything goes well, we're not crashing out, I have good bit rate and everything, I'd want to spend a little time online. And so I just told you this a minute before we started. My plan for today's stream is I would like to interview you. Because you're always our host. You're always interviewing us, getting cool information about us as developers and our careers and everything like that. You never get really much of a chance to talk about yourself. So
you misunderstand. I take every opportunity to talk about myself.
Well,
Now let me
today,
just say, I noticed today I always do this like just because it's comfy in the chair, and I noticed today that I'm casually showing off my League of Swords tattoo, which
is
I've
awesome.
gotten so many comments on how unprofessional it was to show that off on my personal stream while I was interviewing you guys. So
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about your history because honestly, I know that you previously worked for, I'll let you say which company because I'm not sure I have it right, as a community rep of some sort previously, and that kind of started your career. But I think the big question here, if we just dig into it, is how did you get into community management? And by extension, how'd you end up at Cryptic Studios working on our games?
So funnily enough, those are the same story. I didn't actually do official community management until until I started working at Cryptic. I'd
Hmm.
done moderating on forums and things like that. But my job previously before that was I had three different positions at the camera company GoPro. I was initially because I was trained as a filmmaker. I went to film school, so I was initially what position did they make up? So basically, I got hired
Media
to be a
manager,
video.
something like that, maybe?
Maybe I got hired to be a video editor for the engineering department because the engineering department wanted their own videos made, not by uh, GoPro's video department because weird corporate politics. But it turned out that expectation was more about uh, like testing equipment and stuff, and the
Hmm.
video editing thing was actually like a side part. And I'm not great at testing equipment and running a lab. That's just not a thing that comes naturally to me. So they eventually transferred me to the actual video editing department, where I spent about a year and a half as one of two editors for GoPro's hunting and fishing department, which you can imagine how well that jived with me. Um, uh, Let it be known, the company really wanted to make a lot of money on hunting and fishing content, but they also knew that the GoPro fan base was generally, you know, liberal California surfers. So
A
the
little more
mandate was
tech
do
bros, a
thing.
little less,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And so the mandate was make videos uh that that are popular with the hunting and fishing crowd, but never show any actual animal die.
Hmm.
Which it turns out, if you go on YouTube and look for videos that are popular with the hunting and fishing crowd, they're all animal murder,
Hmm.
just all of
Yeah.
them. And then I was part of what they called the agency. I was making videos for like Best Buy kiosks and stuff. And then I eventually got let go. And I spent a summer playing Captain Conrad Werner in the Mass Effect ride at California's Great America. Yes,
That's cool.
Conrad Werner got promoted to being a captain and had
He
his own ship.
deserves it.
And I crashed it 4
Every
times a
day.
day at least. Yeah,
Yeah.
27 times a day. Yep. And then I was looking for a new job. I had sort of come to the realization that, you know, video editing might not be my thing. And there was an application for a community manager uh, at Cryptic Studios. And I had just enough experience to get in the door, apparently. And I, to this day, don't really know what I did that they liked because, like, Rakosa at one point mentioned, like, when I was asking for information about a crisis we were having, Rakosa at one point was like, um, hey, the answer to this is what you said in your initial survey. It was a good answer, and so I had to go rack my brain and find what I'd said. But
Like during the
so I
interview
guess that,
process?
yeah, they gave me a like 3 or 4 question thing of like, um, you know, yes, there we go. My head's through the wall. That's perfect. They gave us a
Oh, you've joined me. Hello. Welcome to
I've joined you.
Drazana.
Hello. Yes, the sexy space pirate is here.
Yes.
Um. Anyway, I went through the whole interview process. I got hired to do Star Trek Online. Morgan, who you all knew as Trendy, if you were back here back then, my cape is in my face on your screen. Um, there we go. We're trained me really, really well. Gave me all the information I needed. And then I was the community manager for 8 years and doing a lot of learning on the job. I had the fundamentals that she'd given me, but a lot of it was figuring stuff out as I go. Yeah, and then I got let go again, and now I'm back.
I want to back up to something because I apologize. I'm supposed to be your friend, but I didn't know this about you, that you actually went to film school.
Yeah.
So what was your career trajectory you were planning at the time? What did you want to be doing?
I wanted to be a director. Everybody wants to be a director.
Of like film and TV, that kind of stuff.
Film and TV, that kind of stuff. My particular film school had this really cool thing that they did where it was like a 1-year intensive, but then at the end of the 1-year intensive, the film school would produce a feature film, and all of the film students would crew said feature film, which is a really cool idea. In practice, it works out to you paying to crew somebody else's feature film. The particular film that I worked on.
Well, and if you were all students in the same courses, you all wanted to be directors, and obviously not everybody can be.
No, our director for this one, and it was kind of a nightmare experience. And then I spent a couple more. I was on bigger film sets a couple more times as like PAs and stuff. I worked on a Ja Rule movie called "I'm in Love with a Church Girl." Which
cool.
Yep. Filmed in where did it film? Anyway, filmed in San Jose, right? That's where I was at the time. That one I actually got on because I saw that they were filming. I saw one of my friends was on set, and I literally walked up and was like, "You probably need more PAs, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right?" But
it's amazing how that used to work.
All right.
Now you have to know somebody or be related to somebody.
Yeah, or be related to somebody who knows somebody.
Yeah.
So yeah, I still love doing that stuff, but my joy doesn't come out of the super large sets as much as I'd love to work on those like giant blockbuster, movies and like the big sci-fi and fantasy and action stuff. But I really prefer working with a like small group of people and like, doing. Oh my God, no, stop it. Sorry. My computer has this really weird issue where if I have two things that use the graphic card up at the same time, the screen will turn black and freeze sometimes. And I'll still see both videos, but I won't be able to see, like, I can't move the mouse.
Well, it's a good thing you're not the one streaming right now, then.
Right? This is definitely happened during a live stream before, and you never knew, so good on me. So yeah, I like working with a smaller group of people. I like that more creatively. It's a lot more fun. And also, I have no idea how people raise money for things. I have not been able to figure that one out.
As a testament by your League of Swords Kickstarter, which went okay, right? But not quite.
It went, yeah. I mean, it got me a tattoo, and then completely fizzled out. Yeah.
Yeah. I can. We're getting more people joining us on Drazana. That's fun.
Yay!
Historical context. I think I remember the point in time whereabouts you ended up being hired on, and I think honestly one of the marks in your favor was probably that you had some film experience, because we had just gone through a transition of wanting better marketing videos, trailers, things like that, and we were just having a really uphill battle of trying to get that kind of stuff made. This was also a time where we had made the decision as a company. I wasn't part of this. I shouldn't say we. They had made a decision as a company to get somebody in-house instead of working with ARC as our community managers. So
it is not lost on me, and it is very funny to me that I initially was brought on by Cryptic to be a different, to be an internal community manager, and then got let go from that job and came back as an external community manager. Yes, I work now for ARC.
There was actually a question earlier. I don't know how much you're comfortable commenting on it, but how is that different? And are there any aspects of it that are that you want to call out that are better or anything like that? Or is it really just same day, different company signing your paycheck?
It's a little bit of both. So uh, and I'm all the people that I'm working with at Arc now are people that I worked with before, and I worked with them very closely before. The last time I was here.
Hmm.
So it's a lot of just like like Katrina and Renee and Jai and all of those wonderful people.
Yeah.
Um, so I jumped on. I say so yeah. So all those people are great. Working with all of them is great. Um, and I'm also I'm learn other than the people at Cryptic who I do know and do know well and have worked with before. I'm very quickly learning and getting to know all the Deca people, former Deca
Former
people,
Deca. Yeah.
and they're all awesome, really really cool group of people. And so it is just a little bit like slotting back into the old thing. It was mostly the first 2 weeks because I'd done this job before, but I hadn't done it for 2 years or whatever.
Hmm.
The first like 2 or 3 weeks, everybody just kind of went, "Here you go, just start your job again." And I went,
Yeah. You know what to
"Okay."
do. Well, is it
Uh,
safe to say you might not have noticed a difference, but it feels as an external, as an outsider, that when you were at Cryptic, you were kind of a one-man army, and you didn't have a ton of
yeah,
support. You were having to do a lot of things under your own volition, setting your own goals, setting your own tasks, and everything like that. But now that you're back at ARC, is it safe to say that it feels more like you're part of a team instead of just this one-man army?
absolutely. Joel, our marketing director who hired me, who unfortunately has moved on since hiring me, but to another job. He's not dead. Uh, but
Moved on,
I
not passed on.
not yeah exactly. Um, was uh very very cognizant of, like, I know you're used to doing everything yourself. We have teams who do things like graphics and video. Please use them.
Hmm.
And I've had a lot of conversations with Cryptic folks and Phil and Thomas and such since then, coming back, where they've said the same thing, like, please use us to make things. So if you
Yeah.
notice, the blog art is a lot better. It's because I'm not doing it anymore.
Well,
But
I think you still
it's great
dabbled,
because we
right?
get really high quality stuff. I
I
still
know
what?
a few times you've dabbled. I remember you saying
Yeah.
like, yeah, I had to make a modification in Photoshop or whatever to
Yeah,
fix
and
it
I
up.
made the summer ship sail art with all the ships in orbit of Ryza. I was very proud of how that one turned out.
Fine.
Also, Sasha over in Discord, who I guess is listening to this right now. No, I don't outrank the Cryptic employees just because I work for Arc. That would be great. Could you imagine?
Yeah, you're our new overlord.
Jeremy,
You get to dictate how
Jeremy,
we do
drop
things.
everything and make swarm ships now.
Drop everything and remove the injury system.
Yes, tear it out. I don't care what it breaks, and bring me pictures of Spider-Man.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit. I don't have a good transition because I'm not all that skilled at this, but tell me about League of Swords because I think some people that watch this are aware of it by name, but maybe not
Oh
your
no,
involvement and your passion project, right? Um,
am I allowed to do that? I know
think of
several of
yourself
you,
as
and
a
I mean
guest.
this.
I'm the host. I work for Cryptic.
Okay,
I'm leading the stream now. You're just a guest that I've asked to be on.
look at me. I'm the stream host
That's
now.
right.
I okay. So League of Swords. The story behind it is I've always loved professional wrestling deeply. And I wanted to, look into becoming a professional wrestler. I went a to observe a professional wrestling class, and it the vibe was not good. There was a lot of people, a lot of teachers screaming at students and things like that.
I've seen some
And so,
videos of other like amateur wrestling stuff. It can get a little aggressive. Some people take it a little
yeah,
differently. I don't want to say too
yeah.
intensely. They have their own reasons for it and everything, but they get something else out of the practice than probably it sounds like what you were after.
Yeah, exactly. Wrestling has a whole culture that's hundreds of years old and based on pretending it was real for centuries.
Hmm.
And so there's all kinds of reasons for it. And, one of the big things that they do in wrestling, this is off topic, but is this thing called receipts, where if somebody messes up and hurts you, the thing you're supposed to do and expected to do is stop doing wrestling for a minute and hit them for real so that they won't do it again. And I find that not good or helpful.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It's like negative reinforcement.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I reached out to a friend who is a pro wrestler, and who I recently saw, because he's also an actor. I literally yesterday saw him doing one of those fake podcast ads on YouTube
Oh,
where
yeah.
like he's talking like he's on a podcast, but there's no podcast. There never was.
Right.
It's great. I and so I reached out to him and I was like, hey, is this just what it's like? And his response was kind of like, yeah, it is just what it's like. And like, if that's not for you, then being a wrestler is probably not for you. And of course I was crushed and devastated, and driving down the road, crushed and devastated, remembered my love for swords. Obviously, it's always on the front of my mind. And the fact that while I am not a certified, I am a trained sword fight choreographer.
I love that.
And I said to myself,
in a moment of sadness, you went to your happy place, which is swords.
yep. Sometimes I get sad and just stay sad. This was like a bolt out of the blue. Like my brain just went, but what if you did pro wrestling with swords? And I literally like, you ever just have one of those ideas where everything just like slots into place and everything changes? It's, like how you'll feel when you rip the injury system out. So I thought about that. Then I started developing it for like 5 years, which by developing it, I mean thinking about it every now and then. And then
poking friends for interest levels. And
exactly.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, thank you, Rachel. Rachel likes my character the best. And we 100% need a Stowe Dev charity wrestling stream. What could go wrong? Listen, I will make that happen. But I want Gorn Championship Wrestling in the game somehow as more than just a throwaway Madron joke.
There's some options there for sure.
Yeah. But anyway, during the pandemic happened, and this group that was doing a virtual Ren Fair, they'd used this software to build out this entire, it looked like an 8-bit RPG town that people could wander around and do virtual Ren Fairs at. It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I forgot the name of the software right now. But they were looking
Minecraft.
I wish it was Minecraft. I looked into using the same software to try and do a virtual Star Trek Online convention where people could actually like walk around and like go to different booths and stuff. And since it was free during the pandemic, now that nobody needs it anymore, it's become very expensive. Yeah. But anyway, so I went and I applied to be a performer, and I spoke to this gentleman, and I was like, yeah, I'll film, a sword fight, and we'll do something with it. And we started talking, and the League of Swords came up, and he said to me, and I will always forever be grateful for this. He was like, well, if you want to start this thing, now's probably a good time. And I had it in my far future someday category, and I went, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And so I did a comedy sword fight, but I couched it in the world of the League of Swords that I'd already come up with.
Just kind of like a riff on, it feels kind of similar to like inspired by Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat sort of mythology.
Mortal Kombat especially. WMAC Masters, if y'all ever watched that back in the day. It's a 90s martial arts show. It's great.
But yeah, that of anime maybe thrown in for good measure.
Yep. I do liken it to a fighting game a lot because every character is wildly unique and different, like they would be in a Street Fighter or a Mortal Kombat, which is why
it's
I
League
wanted
of Swords, not sword. So everybody has their own weaponry and techniques and everything. Yeah.
And a lot of choreographers, when I bring them in, are like, so they're using two different swords in this fight because that's just not something you normally do. I have a big heavy sword.
Safe, right?
No, is there a German version of the stream? I will give you the one phrase that I know in German. Du bist ein Kartoffelkopf. Like, that was not a German accent. I don't know what I was doing there. Anyway, so
Guten Tag. Thanks.
Guten
Yeah.
Tag.
Danke.
Do you ever play the original Wolfenstein?
Yes. My
Yeah, there's a guy in
Leben.
there. There's a guy in that who you open a door and there's a dude with 2 miniguns for
Yeah.
hands who just
Guten
goes,
Tag.
Guten Tag, and then starts shooting you. It's great. Stayed with me since childhood. Anyway, so then I spent about a year doing what I am now calling the test season. It was basically getting together a bunch of different friends and doing, coming up with characters for them and doing sword fights. And then the end of that was I, started showing it in places. There was a lot of virtual conventions and stuff during the pandemic where I could debut things. And then we all went fully remote and the pandemic sort of kind of ended. And my wife and I made the decision to move down here to Los Angeles to try and sort of pursue the fun, geeky, like film and TV stuff that's happening on the internet that's mostly centered
I
down
like
here.
how you say it kind of sort of ended. I think that's more honest
Yeah.
than a lot of people say. And when the pandemic was over, come on,
Yeah.
guys.
It wasn't.
It never is.
Nope. But anyway, so then we moved down here and I started organizing actual live shows. And we've done like 5 of them in front of an audience. And then I had some producers reach out to me to want to try and do the Kickstarter and do a really big show. We tried, didn't work. And now we're sort of in a rebuilding phase. I want to put a writer's room together and we're going to start doing a like a web series kind of format to try and build an audience. We have, quite a few YouTube subscribers, thanks to Game Grumps. Thank you very much, Grumps. So,
oh yeah, you appeared on one of their episodes to be their like sword combat trainer, right?
Yep, that was me, the safety guy.
Yeah,
they told me to be like, hey, do you have we want to do this thing with swords. Do you have swords like that we could borrow? And eventually it ended up turning into, we've bought a bunch of cheap swords on Amazon, so we're going to use those. And I was like, cool. Do you need a sword safety person on set? And
yeah,
shoot your shot, kids.
that's a very, I mean, your background in various things outside of next to adjacent to Hollywood, that's a very thing to do. Like, hey, since you're talking to me anyway, can my face be on camera?
What about if I did this?
Yeah.
Stanky Boy makes a very good point, and since we've learned on this stream that I outrank you, go make Sulu's fold out katana right now. Make it right now. Make it and include it. Oh, okay. After the stream, go make it and then include it in the bundle that may or may not be announced and streamed on Tuesday.
I'm sure we have time. Let me talk to the animators.
Totally.
Yeah.
You got one day, and it's today.
Yep. So I want to kind of derail a little bit here, go off on a little tangent maybe, because I know one of the things that I feel like is a through line of everything that you've been talking about, from video production and your own projects with League of Swords and even wrestling as a hobby. It does feel like community and like team play, team involvement, social play seems like kind of a cornerstone of the things that you have built your life around, at least in the recent times. Do you feel like that's something that was that a factor in trying to become a community manager to begin with? Is that something you've known about, or is it just a natural proclivity?
Jeremy, I thought you said you were bad at this. You can't say you're bad at this and then ask really good questions. I think I discovered it along the way. I think at the time that I applied for the cryptic job, I was just looking for something different, not to be a video lab editor or, video lab editor. That was the title. Or, working on videos anymore. And it seemed like something I would be good at. And then, over the course of this whole, decade-long journey with Cryptic, I have realized that it's something I'm really passionate about. I'm really passionate about helping people understand each other. So more so than like, laying down the law or, any of that kind of stuff. The thing that I'm really enjoy doing is something that I've been doing on the Discord a lot lately, of jumping into conversations and being like, "Hey, I see that this is tense. Real quick, they mean this and you're hearing this. And they mean this and you're hearing this." And it's a huge misunderstanding.
It's become
That's one of my favorite
unfortunately
things to do.
common on the internet, I find, more so these days, that sometimes people will argue because they feel like that's just the default of what they should be doing, even if they
Yep.
have the exact same opinion.
We've
Sometimes they just become argumentative.
we've built up nerd culture in a way that, and it's getting better now, but even like when I first started at Cryptic, like the way you gain status in nerd culture conversations is by talking about the things that you hate.
Yeah.
And so that leads to a lot of arguments and
Hmm.
stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's something that, I mean, one of the reasons that I bring up this whole question is because as I have grown more mature, I've started to notice that it's something that I care more and more about, is
Yeah.
community. And especially after the pandemic, I realized it's something that is missing a lot in a lot of modern, everywhere, everything, life
Yeah.
in general. Like we've lost a lot of the connections that make us feel like human communities, and a lot of it's the reason that doom scrolling feels like it has such a negative inclination. It kind of separates you from everybody around, from everywhere
Yeah.
around you. And so
I think
yeah.
weirdly, as horrible of a time as it was, the pandemic made us all have a lot of that community again for a brief time, which is why I
Hmm.
think so many people are wishing for it now.
Well, those who
You know,
could, I think, realized it and embraced it, but not. I don't think everybody realized that they needed it and was able to actually form those communities, because it was different if you were the type to like, I just go to the gym and I
what?
talk to the people at the gym, um, or
Okay.
that. Is there something going on?
Sorry. Somebody said in regards to the Kelvin timeline bundle, I put up a premiere of the video,
Uh huh.
and they said, I knew it. The turrets are animated, which, yeah, they are. But that made me think that you could actually watch the video right now before Tuesday, and that would have been bad.
Yeah.
But we're okay. It's not that. We're good.
I was
We're
vamping,
good, everybody.
but the look on your
I
face made me
appreciate
panic a little.
it.
Anyway, as I was saying, I think that a lot of people during the pandemic, they kind of split into two groups: the people who knew how to form bonds, or even just the people who are working at companies that were able to embrace work remote, and like video teleconferencing. Discord really took off during the pandemic, obviously, as a way to connect and stay in these communities. But I think it's important to understand that a lot of people, and especially a lot of the people that we engage with as gamers, didn't really know how to do that, or didn't have the right
Yeah.
tools to be able to maintain that sense of community, that sense of connectivity with other humans. And I think we're kind of seeing in a lot of ways a kind of a fallout, from that in different areas in different ways. But yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to go on this tangent as an opportunity for me to rant, but I'm glad that to hear that I'm a kindred spirit in Kale, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Kindred Kale. There was this is a total sidebar, but we did a costume contest in Champions once to help me or to pick out a costume for my character in Champions.
Hmm?
And I was like, "Oh, well, I'll call it the Kale costume contest. You know what would be fun? I'll change all the first letters to K's and I'll call it the Nope,
Nope.
nope, 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 nope."
Well, that's just more evidence you should have picked a different call sign.
Yeah.
Is
Pundus
there,
is, by the way, still
since I'm,
awake and jumped in chat to let people know that the turrets are don't animate in
that it's
game.
all fake, it's magic. It's magic
It's
tricks.
pre-rendered magic, which now the Discord is wailing and suddenly silenced.
No. Hey, since I'm interviewing you and on a
Yeah.
completely different subject, is there a backstory to Vengeance God, or is it just edgelord youth peeking
No,
through?
it's actually not edgelord. Well, no, it is edgelord. There is a backstory. So, middle school, got into wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Also was hyper online in a way that we were back then in the more lawless, more fun internet. And somehow found what was called an e-fed. And e-feds back then were, I think they're still going, but they were really popular things in like the 90s and 2000s. You would role play a wrestler, and the way it worked is you would write like an in-ring promo, like what your character said in the ring,
Mm-hmm.
and the owner would decide who won based on which one was better. And of course, as the decade of those went on, it stopped being in-ring promos and started being 20-page role-playing texts about your
Sure.
character's life, backstory, and stuff. But when I first created a character, the character I always have been planning to play as a wrestler was this guy called Psycho, PSI-CO. And he was a member of Generation X. And that was his entire character. I had catchphrases, nothing else. And then but I was like, I'm not ready to play that character yet. So I'm going to do something different for this first one, which, inspired by Mick Foley. He always wanted to be Dude Love. And then when he forgot his first job, he was like, I'm not ready to be Dude Love. I'll be Cactus Jack. And so instead I created Vengeance. And Vengeance's whole thing, when he first started out, was literally he was a grown man who was angry because he'd been bullied in middle school. I don't know where the inspiration came from.
Who knows?
Who knows? Very, very weird. So he was, a bad guy at first, and then I just kept playing him, and he developed into sort of this, like gruff veteran, like former hardcore wrestler. He had a wife. I don't think I ever gave him a kid. He, briefly went insane and started a cult. All kinds of fun stuff.
He went through a I'm too old for this shit sort of phase.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's his catchphrase was "The age of outcasts is coming," which you will still hear me drop in the League of Swords, even though it makes no sense for my current character because fuck it, it's mine. Oops, professional stream. You got me so relaxed, Jeremy. You're so good at this. And then the other half of it is
I'm still nervous as heck. I keep checking OBS to see if anything's exploded.
Anything's gone wrong and on fire. And then I did in one of the groups, one of the eFeds, I joined a group called the Gods of Domination, which is shortened to God.
So it was like a guild tag that got attached.
Yep, because Vengeance is always taken everywhere.
Yeah, of course.
If you create a new account, Vengeance is taken. But Vengeance God is almost never taken.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did have a whole wrestle thing when I started doing the personal stream of like, should I do this on the Vengeance God channel, or should I make something new? Should I continue to be Ambassador Kales and go off of that? And I finally just said, no, this has been who I am for most of my life.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a similar story. I don't have God in my name, but, Borticus has stuck with me now for 30 years. But it's kind of goofy, right? It's kind of a goofy name.
It's a fun name, and you can be Borticus.
Mm-hmm. Borticus,
the flight deck raptor.
Borticus, Miracle Worker, flight deck cruiser, or whatever it was.
Yeah, exactly. Captain Spicy Pants is going to fire up all upcoming games and create Vengeance God now. Good job. I'm proud of you for your excellent trolling, Captain Spicy Pants.
Now, I went through a very similar thing actually in my EverQuest to Auto Assault. I don't know if anybody remembers that. I'm short-lived.
No.
To City of Heroes rather, and then to Tabula Rasa. Throughout all of those, I had a screen name of Epitome JSTR, because my name was Epitome, and just like Vengeance, that's always taken. So JSTR was the name of my guild, the Jester Club, and we would hop games together. So yeah, it's almost identical. I could have been today Epitome Jester instead of Borticus, but yeah, I chose wisely.
I think so. Well, because now you have Epitome Jester as your, private screen name that nobody knows. Oh no,
I haven't touched it in years, but
I do know your other name that you used for a while on Twitter. I don't know if you still have any accounts under that other name.
I don't know either. I have a mostly love-hate relationship with social medias like Twitter and Blue Sky and stuff, so it's hard for me to stay stay engaged on those, which
My
is why I'm so
my
glad
feet.
to have you back, because I can just tell you to take care of it for me for work anyway.
Hmm. Absolutely. Uh, and yet you still dip into the Discord as often as you can.
Discord's easier for me for some reason. For better or worse, probably worse.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Ramona, yes, we do know why Nick used Tumor Boy, and I think he's been pretty public about this. When he was a kid, he had a tumor.
Brain tumor,
And
right?
Yeah, brain tumor. Okay, I thought that's what it was, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Which is why he's very active with the Make a Wish Foundation today, because they helped him out.
Hmm. But he also adopted a secondary name at some point of Taco Fangs. I think it came
Yep.
from Champions, right? There's a villain named
Yeah.
Tacophanes,
Yeah.
and
Oh, is that how you pronounce it?
I
I've been saying
assume
Taco Fane for so long.
I assume I don't know. I've never heard anybody say it out loud, but I always assumed it was Tacophany, and that it was just a
That
joke that it was Taco Fangs.
Taco Fangs. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And I've told this story many times, but while I was the writer for Champions, and I still do some writing for them, but I don't think I'm the official writer anymore. When I was writing my one big storyline, I logged onto the forums one day to see feedback, and I had invented this completely brand new villain, who was kind of mysterious and Lemurian. And in the feedback thread, there was this whole hello, the kitty. But there was
Secondary
this
guest
whole
host.
thing about like, what if this is secretly Zoran the Artificer? And here's all these reasons why it would make sense. And I was like, and it is. It is definitely Zoran the Artificer in secret, and we planned this from the beginning.
That's right. It's wonderful how a good plan comes together.
Mm-hmm.
I will
Is
admit
Miku?
that I can't think of any examples offhand, but there have been times where we've seen things said on the forums or in Discord or something, and like we as game developers will be like, that's a better idea than what we had planned. That's
Yep.
right. That's true now.
And sometimes y'all will pick up that we did that, but we will never acknowledge it
Nope.
because then you can sue us. Probably. I don't know if a lawyer would take that case, but
There are weird
best to
things
be
about the
sure.
rights of story writing, especially under Paramount, because of some history with like people who write episodes for Star Trek and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a difficult line to walk.
It's like, what was? Oh, I was watching a video on. There's a guy who wrote the Sonic comic book for years and was apparently very weird, and managed to, through a bunch of legal screw ups by the company who was putting out the comic and things like that, retain legal rights to all of the original characters he created while doing the Sonic the
Mm,
Hedgehog comic. So he didn't have Sonic or Knuckles, but he had Knuckles' sister Jenny or whatever.
yeah, yeah. Mark the Chief, Miku is related to Hatsune Miku, although I believe it
Yep.
is just her real name, or at
I
least her
actually,
legal name. She may have changed it at some point.
yeah, I actually have never asked. I've always assumed that she changed it, but I don't know.
But she is a huge Hatsune Miku fan, so if she's ever on and you
Yes.
guys have that fandom in common, I'm sure she'd love to talk about it.
Oh yeah. Throw her some. I wrote a Hatsune Miku game with her once. Was for a game jam,
Hmm.
and they brought me on as a writer, and then I was like, cool. Can you give me all of the Hatsune Miku lore to read? And she went, there isn't any, and I went, what?
Well, there isn't any, but there's also an infinite amount.
Yes, but officially, there's less lore for Hatsune Miku than even like Hello Kitty.
Right.
And actually, Hello Kitty probably has deep lore. Did you know that she's not actually a cat?
I think I did know that from somewhere. I don't remember where. It's weird how these nerddom things kind of just enter your consciousness.
Yes.
Yeah,
Muak, that I don't think that was cosplay. I think that's just how Miku dresses.
it is. That
And
is correct.
more power to her.
Yep.
Uh,
Okay, I think we've done enough testing for today. This was not
I
intended to
think
be a
so.
long stream. We just wanted to make sure the tech was all working. I have one less thing to test when we sign off, which is the outro. And I've forgotten how to do a raid. But you know what? I think we're just not going. Oh, yeah, it's /raid and a person.
Yep.
So I have to go find a person to raid.
Rachel, are you literally Esri Dax right now? You look so much like Esri Dax. Also, I turned my back to camera to look at her.
Oh, I hadn't looked at the screen in a while. Thank you guys for coming to hang out. That's very fun.
Yeah.
Again, it goes
That's
back
really
to that
cool.
whole sense of community, of belonging.
I
And
I
connection.
love when this happens, and it happens a lot of just, we're hanging out somewhere. We did a interview once or a stream
Wait,
once where we were just hanging in Quark's bar.
that's the guy from what's from what's the show? The other sci-fi show. The guy on the left
Which
there.
other sci-fi show?
Seth
There's so
Dreams.
many.
There's Seth something. Oh my God, why is my brain so blank right now? Bortos.
Because
Yes,
you're
it's Bortos or Bortus. I forget how you pronounce it. The guy who eats cigarettes.
Oh, okay.
From Orville. That's it.
From
From
Rick and
Orville.
Orville. Oh, okay. Got it.
That's a great cosplay. I love when people like bring those in from other fandoms. Awesome.
We should do costume contests again. We did one for Halloween that would never have flown by Champions standards because the judging was literally just Ian was on stream with me and picked his favorites.
Yeah. Well, that's the privilege of becoming a game developer. Sometimes you just get to have your opinions be the right one.
Mm-hmm. Jeremy's very familiar with that.
No, don't say that.
Oh, I feel really bad for you, by the way, because I know a lot of our interactions. Jeremy has a very he's very relaxed in person, like this that you see, but when he's talking about work, he has a very business Jeremy voice.
Yeah,
and to me, business Jeremy voice sounds pierced, and so there's a lot of times that I'll be like, "So what if we did this?" And Jeremy will say something like, "We're allowed to make mistakes and change course." And he probably means it like we're allowed to make mistakes and change course, but in my brain I'm like, oh no, Jeremy hates me.
Well, I will admit that sometimes I get a wild hair and I feel like I'm sitting on the bridge of a ship, and that's my moment. That's when the camera is zoomed in on me to get the reaction to that statement. And so sometimes we're allowed to make mistakes and change course.
All right, this is a good final
Let's
question.
hit it.
Turning the interview around on you. What's your captain phrase?
So actually, this was just pointed out to me in a recent playtest. I think I tend to start meetings by "let's get into it" or "let's hit it."
Mm-hmm.
So those two phrases, I think one of those would probably end up being my gray aliens phrase from the chair, like set course for yada yada yada. And let's get into it.
You can't do "let's hit it." That's taking it. Yeah, let's get into it. That sounds good.
Yeah.
I don't know what mine would be. I haven't thought of it yet. Of course, I'm a Klingon pirate, so it probably would be like "Avast
for treasure,
for freedom."
Avast. I don't think
Rachel's
Klingons would say Avast.
I feel like Klingons who had read like Treasure Island, in the original
Klingon,
would say Avast. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about something we have coming up.
For chocolate milk.
In the original Klingon. I'll just show that.
Is that Hamlet?
Quickly, 'cause it's next to me. Uh-huh.
Awesome.
I'll tell you all about it after the stream.
So I don't know if I've told you. Here's a little extra interview question for myself. My parents run, and my oldest brother is the CEO of a community theater up here in my area, an performing arts center.
Yeah.
They do a lot of they're a nonprofit. They do a lot of community theater and stuff. And they actually they had a guest company come in and do Klingon Hamlet a few years back.
Oh man.
They said it was
so
one of the best performances they've ever seen, even though they didn't understand anything that was going on. Unfortunately, they could not fill the house. So
that sucks.
It was hard getting people into seats to come see a Klingon show.
Yeah. You got to do that. I mean, I think that really only works like during conventions. In like San Diego or something like that. There's a show that I desperately want to put on called Shoggoths on the Veldt, which is a straight up like it's Cthulhian, but the tone is straight up like Indiana Jones pulp adventure, but cool. Self-aware.
Yeah,
it's so good. I fight choreographed it once, but yeah, the show that the theater that did it with me, it didn't draw in people, and so I think you'd need to do it. Maybe I could put it on during LA Comic-Con or something sometime.
Yeah. Actually, I'll close out by saying this. I don't know if I've announced this elsewhere. I think I might have mentioned it on the Discord, but I will be at the Star Trek Las Vegas convention next month in Las Vegas. Cryptic as a whole does not have an official appearance, so I'll just be there on vacation. But if any of you are there, feel free to drop me a note on the Discord. I'd love to meet up, say hi, maybe have lunch or something. If you guys will be there.
Hell yeah. We, by the way, have had not not real hope, but we've had a slight glimmer of hope of us being able to go back to that convention officially lately. So
I heard there
hopefully,
might also be a slight glimmer of hope regarding the cruise in the future, but maybe that's being hopeful thinking on my side.
oh, if you saw that conversation, that was me begging to be sent on the cruise. I don't know if there's anything official there.
Okay, that might have
Every
been.
time the cruise comes up, we usually do giveaways, and I'm like,
Well,
no,
'cause
we
that's
need
kind
to
of
send
that's kind
several
of
developers, including me.
and not just because it's a cruise, although that's cool. That would be really
Yes.
cool, but also because that has kind of become the official Star Trek convention these years.
Yeah.
So it would be really great for us to be involved as fans and as stewards of the IP, you might say.
Yeah, it would be fun to do some STO events on there.
Yeah.
Stanky Boy, that is absolutely correct, and actually relevant to what we were just saying. I am going on a cruise with my wife's family next week.
Not the Star Trek
and
cruise.
So, no, sadly. I was about to say what cruise it was, and then I was like, that's probably a bad idea. But it's yes. So I'll be out all next week, and we discovered that hilariously, Manny Farrow will also be out all next week. So we've got a bunch of different people stepping up and being awesome, including Jeremy, who is going to do the stream for us.
Yeah, because it would be really difficult to stream from a cruise ship.
It would be insanely difficult.
Yeah. So I will be hosting our Tuesday 10 Forward Weekly. Today was basically a test bed, make sure all the tech works, make sure I've got all the overlays set up and everything like that. Yep.
Mark Chief, you are absolutely correct, and also there is no ethical consumption under capitalism. All right, shall we wrap things up?
Yeah, I'm not going to bother rating today. I know you taught me how, but we'll figure that out for next.
You sure you don't want to test it? You sure you don't want? You got 106 people watching that you could send to some.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Listening to an interview.
Okay. All right. So the best thing I can do is probably open a Twitch window and try to find who's in the. All right. Tell us a story
what I usually do
about
is I
something
just,
while I do this.
What I usually do is I just search for Star Trek Online, and then it shows everybody playing the game. Or you can just click on that. That's amazing. I didn't know that button was there. Let's see. A cool story. Oh, by the way, no giveaways next week, Muak, but they made Jeremy nervous.
They do. Yeah, he was like, and then if you want to do a giveaway, you have to load the separate software. And I was like, wait, we're not doing it.
Nope. We're not doing it. Okay, I have let's see. Okay, here's the story. Once upon a time, there was a village of people called the Trids, and they lived on top of a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And they lived on the side of a mountain. Sorry, they lived on the side of a mountain. And they were cattle farmers. And they had a crop of cattle. It wasn't a huge crop of cattle, but it was a decent crop. And they would feed the cows on the grass that was on the side of the mountain. Now the problem with that is that grass on mountains, it doesn't grow consistently all the time. It only grows in like patches. If you eat through all of your grass, well, then your cattle are going to start starving. And that's exactly what happened after years of grazing. And they tried to keep the grass growing, but couldn't. Now, on the very top of the mountain, there was this huge manor, and this local lord lived there. And he owned the other half of the mountain. Isn't it? I don't know what you're talking about. This is a very serious story. He owned the other half of the mountain, and the other half of the mountain had so much grass, and he was using it for anything. He didn't have a golf course. He didn't have, a park. He just had a bunch of wild grass. Mm-hmm. And so the Trids went up there, and they entreated this lord guy. Can we, just let our cattle graze on your grass? We'll pay you. It would be beneficial for both of us because it'd clean up your yard. And they had a nice long conversation, and then at the end, the Lord pulled a Captain Shaw and said no, and then grabbed one of the Trids and kicked him off the mountain. Now, luckily, he landed in a very soft bush, we'll say. But you can hear me adding
death prevention
time. Yes, the death prevention bush. He fell in Minecraft and landed in water. And so the Trids all gathered up and were like, okay, we're not entirely sure what just happened. We should try that again. So we're going to try a different approach this time. And this time they approached and they were all like genuflecting and like, oh, please, mighty gracious owner of the half the mountain, please let us graze on your half of the mountain. And this lord guy was once again like, yes, it's very interesting points. And then grabbed a Trid and kicked them off the mountain. And they landed in the soft bush and were fine. Leap of faith into a hay bale cart. Exactly.
Yeah,
Atreus.
Assassin's Creed style.
Yeah. Now, there happened to be, and it's going to sound like this joke is going somewhere weird, and it's not, I promise. But there happened to be a famous rabbi who came to town. As he was doing his teaching and other rabbi duty things, the Trids came to him and explained the situation and asked him if there's anything he could do because, the cows would all starve and then they would all starve. And so he said, I think I can do something about that. Let me reason with this man and see what happens. And so he goes up alone without any of the Trids for backup, and he sits down. And the Lord invites him in and gives him tea, and they sit and they have a nice meal and they talk for hours. And he makes very, very good points. And this guy who owns half the mountain is nodding and listening and seems to be actively listening. He's asking important questions, but at the end, after like 6 or 7 hours of this, he's just not agreed to let the Trids use his side of the mountain. And finally, frustrated, the famous rabbi says to him, well, aren't you going to kick me off the mountain like you did everybody else? And he looks at him and he says, silly rabbi, kicks are for Trids.
Round of applause, everybody. The crowd goes wild.
Oh. That joke has grown over the 26.
It's great. I think that's one of the greatest storytelling / joke telling methods out there. Like if you lead up, the longer you make the lead up, so that the payoff is even less, it like just makes it funnier, right?
Ramona, who comes into the stream all the time with puns, just wrote Mike. Period. I was once, and then we should probably wrap up and let us both go. But I'm having fun hanging out with you, buddy.
I love puns.
I was once.
I don't know if you know, but I once entered a pun contest. You're supposed to write up to 10 entries, and so I thought I'd increase my odds by entering all 10.
I know the fun line. Keep going.
But yeah, unfortunately, out of all of the entries that I tried to get to win, no pun in 10 did.
Yeah. We're not getting into a contest. I have 2 more at least. Okay. But there was one time that I was in a city somewhere, I think in San Francisco, and these 2 high schoolers ran up to me and they were like, we're doing a scavenger hunt. Can you tell us a joke? And they turned on a camera and I went,
have you heard of the Trids?
You don't know what you've done to yourself.
All right. I am going to start a raid here. Let's see. Did that work? Oh, it's working. It's working.
Yay.
We're going to be sending you over to I am the Great.
You might not want to raid that person. I have a feeling in the back of my head that I'd been warned about not raiding that person before, but I don't know for sure.
This is my first opportunity to screw it up. Can I cancel this
right
now? I can cancel it.
Yeah.
Should I? I will. Okay.
Yeah.
Just in case, then, I will bring up a different streamer name. Okay, I think we've rated this person before.
Metaverse, that was so good. They said you can't tell a dad joke if you're not a dad. That would be a faux pas.
That is great.
That is really great.
Okay, I'm starting a new raid.
All right, let's do it.
Ta-da! I don't remember when I'm supposed to turn off the stream, but
so now that you've started the raid, you can start saying goodbye to everyone.
Goodbye.
And switch to your outro video.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Okay,
Bye-bye
thank you
now.
all for watching. This was very impromptu. We'll see you again for normal 10 Forward Weekly next week. Watch out for announcements and such.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.